Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper, at Thursday afternoon with a Thursday Technique Facebook Live. Welcome for joining me, and I hope you enjoy this presentation. It's paper piecing. It's a way to make a designed pattern on your stamped image. So let's get started. I'm going to flip down my phone, and I hope it's not too awkward. Okay, there we go. I'll find my little, here we are. So like I say, I'm the Soggy Stamper. Make a little room here for my little thing. You can find me on Facebook, here at this Facebook page, or you can find me at my blog, www.soggystamper.com. And I highly recommend that you go visit me there because I am posting some really cool things on my blog. So today we're going to make this card with doing paper piecing. It's a way to get a design into your stamped image. So the first thing we're going to do, well, to do this, you're going to need a card base of crumb cake that is 8.5 by 5.25 by 5.5, excuse me, and we're going to fold that in half to make the card base. Always use your bone folder, makes a nice crisp fold there. Okay, so that's the card base. And then we have two of these diamonds, or not diamonds, but anyway, two of these shapes cut out with the stitched nested labels. And the green is cut out with the largest one, and I cut out a piece of Whisper White with the next size in for our scene. So I'm going to set the base aside for now. And I am using the Beautiful Moments stamp set. I'm going to use the two little girls. First thing I'm going to do is this little line here suggests to me that it's the edge of some sand dunes. I think the girls are walking over to the beach. So I'm going to use that line with some crumb cake ink pad. And stamp it. Got to make sure there's room for the girls, because the first time I tried this, I stamped it right in the middle, and then the girls had a line right through them. Not good. Okay, so there's our sand dune. Now I did not want a strong outline for their girls. I didn't want to have it black. And I'm using Stampin' Blends, but I have found that using the regular classic Stampin' Pads, if you're careful, it doesn't cause the ink to bleed. So I'm going to stamp the girls. With Smoky Slate. There, like that. And then I'm going to create sand, and I'm using crumb cake. I'm going to use the light crumb cake Stampin' Marker. And color in like about stamping blends is that you can color and they blend in, they really live up to their name. They blend very well. May look a little messy before they're finished blending out, and you'll get a bit of difference of color, but once they dry, it blends in pretty nicely. Besides that, sand wouldn't be all the same color anyway. So we're moving into the end of June. I can't believe it. But there's going to be a couple of things that you need to be aware of. First is that there is a recruit special, which is very special. If you sign up as a demonstrator during the month of June, not only do you get to choose the contents of a starter kit, which is $125 worth of product, plus you get some business supplies with that too. You get catalogs and you get order forms and a variety of business forms with that, and your choice of whatever product you need to start your stamping business. And if you aren't sure what to order, I'm happy to give you help with that. But on top of getting the starter kit, you get to choose a bundle from the new catalog. And these bundles vary up to, I think most expensive one is about $59 or so. And the bundle is a stamp set and dies that coordinate with it, and you get a 10% discount if you buy them as a bundle. Okay, so there is that. Now on this one, I wanted to kind of soften the effect of this dark crumb cake line, so I'm going to use the dark crumb cake Stampin' Blend to suggest some sand dunes and drifts. And a little bit of texture to the about like that. Now on the other side of the sand dunes, we have water and sky. And for the water, I'm going to be using, that's balmy blue. I'm going to be using the light Seaside Spray. Kind of make a water line like it's the ocean or the sea or maybe a lake. No, it's got to be an ocean because there's no land on the other side. And the sky I'm going to make dark balmy blue, Seaside Spray, sorry. And you don't have to have this all perfectly blended in. Because there's kind of like wispy clouds in the sky. Okay, like that. I'm going to make a little more definitive water line here. There, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go back with the dark crumb cake. To kind of highlight these marks here for a little bit of shadows. There. Okay, now kind of color. I'm not going to color the dresses because that's where I'm going to a paper piece. Oh, I missed a bit. Make sure I have the right color here. Nope, that's not the right color. I have seen people, actually, because these are a little hard to read, so I've seen them put stickers. You know, type it out like a labeler and put the label on right there so it's really easy to see. Okay, now that fills that in. Okay, so the girl, for her hair, I'm going to use bronze. She's fairly dark brown hair. And because of the detail in here, I'm just going to use the bullet point and color her hair. Doesn't take a whole lot. And my little girl with all the curls is going to be a blonde, a nice yellow blonde. Okay, and for the skin, I'm going to use ivory. Depending on the nationality or the color of the person's skin, you could use the bronze, or you could use one of the brown colors. There. And for the girls' buckets, I have Mango Melody, dark Mango Melody. So I'm going to color one of them this color. And then I'm using the dark balmy blue for the other bucket. And they're going to be going out to make sandcastles. One more thing to add to this is a couple of birds in the sky. And I don't want them to be real dark, so I'm going to use the Smoky Slate ink pad again. And we'll just stamp them up there in the sky. Kind of finishes out the sky. Okay, so now I could just color in their dresses and have them solid color, but I want to have a print dress. And I have chosen these two prints. They have to be fair because of the size of it, of the area that I'm working with. Has to be a fairly small print. And so I chose these two designs that are from the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer Series paper. This is really pretty paper. It has this fine print on one side. This side, if you can tell, has gold embossing on it. And this one also has gold embossing on it. But the designs of those are way too big to put on the dress. So the first time I stamped it, I used the Smoky Slate, and I could not see my pattern. You can barely see it there. Would have been very difficult to cut it out. So I went back and I'm going to use Memento ink. And you have to ink up the whole well, you could ink up just half of it. But I'm going to stamp. Let's see, the big girl has the yellow. So I'm going to stamp that there. And see how much easier it is to see? Then I'm going to ink it up again. My stamp set. That was cute. And then I'm going to stamp the girl, the little girl, on this side. Okay, now for some fussy cutting. And this is the part that is called paper piecing. If I wanted to get into great detail, I could have used one thing, like I could have done the skirt this color, and then I could have chosen a piece pattern or something for the upper part that would be a different color, or I could have used a solid piece of cardstock with that. So it helps to watch your thing there to be sure, especially with a busy pattern like this, to be sure you don't cut the wrong spots. So at any rate, I was talking about this sign-up special for being a demonstrator. If you are interested, contact me. I would love to talk with you about the joys of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have been one for 19 and a half years, and I cannot imagine life without being a demonstrator. It has been a wonderful experience. So I'm going to cut off there. I still have a bit of her hair that I need to cut around. As a demonstrator, you choose, with Stampin' Up!, you get to choose how much work you're going to put into your business and how much money you're going to make. The only requirement is that you sell or purchase for yourself $300 every quarter. And if so, and you get a discount with your purchases. So you could join just to be a hobbyist, but you can also join with business in mind. You actually do own your own business, and the more you work and the better you are at the having good financial discipline and tracking, you can make money to provide for things, perhaps it's some little extra things at your home, or you could become a demonstrator but to make new friends. See how that's going to fit in there? So I'm going to use a little bit of multi-purpose glue. And just glue that right in. Now we have a pattern dress for her. Okay, so now for the little girl. It's important, I think, to choose where you stamp your skirt, because when I stamp this one, I don't have much of the way of flowers on it. Yeah, I know. Really exciting watching somebody fussy cut. Whoop. Get it right side up. So because I wasn't real careful where I stamped my image, my little girl's dress has one flower on it, and everything else doesn't show. It's just a small print. But there you go. So that is what we call paper piecing. It's not difficult. Probably the most difficult part is the fussy cutting. So let's go ahead now and finish our card. Get the scraps of stuff out of the way. Have our card base. Got to make sure it opens the right way. I'm going to apply the first thing with Stamp and Seal. It's our new adhesive to take the place of snail. Works the same way. And then I'm going to put the featured part on with Stampin' Dimensionals to give it a little bit of dimension. Stampin' Dimensionals come in two kinds, sizes. They come in this size, which is the regular, and then they come in a mini, which is very little. And that's perfect for little areas, like for instance, if you needed to use a Stampin' Dimensional, you'd still have to trim it down a bit, but it would work for the handle here. Okay, we'll put this on here. I had originally thought that I would use the soft seafoam. It helps to take the papers off the back so the sticky's exposed. At any rate, I had planned to use the soft seafoam as a whole layer under on top of the card base. But as I got to thinking about it and looking at it, I went, oh, let's do it this way. Just kind of as a border around our focal image. There we go. Now it might stay in place. Spacing right. There you go. Last thing to do is stamp the greeting, and I'm going to use the crumb cake. Greeting says, collect beautiful moments. And two little girls going out to make a sandcastle at the beach would be a beautiful moment to remember and collect. So there you have it. I was trying to figure out how to use some glitz on it, some sequins or something like that, and decided that I liked it just the way it is. So that is how you do paper piecing. An easy technique, adds design where you wouldn't have it otherwise. Could be used, you could use flowers and paper piece your flowers. You could paper piece balloons, all kinds of different things that you can paper piece. So thank you for watching this. If you like it, I'd suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's The Soggy Stamper, and this video will be up on the YouTube shortly so that you can watch it over and over again. And then if you like the projects that I share with you and would like to have more, I suggest that you join my mailing list. And if you go to my blog, soggystamper.com, on the upper right hand corner there is a sign up box there for you to sign up to the mailing list. You get several, 4 times a month you will get an email from me with a project or tips. On the first Tuesday of the month is a full newsletter with several projects, several tips, and the rest of the time it's just a shorter one. So hopefully you will go and sign up. You'll get first notice of Stampin' Up! Events and sales. Occasionally I have a special just for my subscribers, and you won't want to miss out. So thank you for watching. You have the good rest of your day, and I hope to see you again next Thursday afternoon. Have a good day, and bye-bye.